Hi, welcome to my latest video. This video is going to be part one of a series of videos looking at fitting an auxiliary diesel fired heater to a Freelander 2. It's a lovely warm sunny day today here in Beavis Pits. The last thing on my mind is de-icing the car. However, give it another 8 or 9 months and it will be about -5, and I'll be trying to start the car up, let it run for a bit, warm up the interior, warm the engine, de-ice the windscreen and the windows, and it'll be the depths of winter. So I thought, why not fit a Webasto fuel-fired heater now in the summer so that it's ready for the winter when I need it. So I bought this on eBay, 40 quid. It is a Webasto Thermo Top V, I think it is, not 5, it's a V, because they also have a C and a Z model. So this is a Thermo Top V, fitted to Range Rover Sports, probably Range Rovers, non-sports and Discoveries. I've actually seen one of these in action on a Discovery 4 and it's absolutely brilliant. What you do on a cold morning is you just press a button on the key fob and this thing whirs into life, and it's like a little jet engine, and it takes diesel from the fuel tank, burns it somehow inside, there's like an exhaust there, and then this is a water pump, so you connect that to the like the water hose, some of the pipe work for the water in the engine, and this thing powers up. It's got a fan and a glow plug and whatever in there, and it starts to burn the diesel, and very, very rapidly you get boiling hot water coming out of here. So so it warms your engine, warms the radiator and the heater matrix, so you then very soon get warm air blowing out of your air vents, and after a couple of minutes you hop in the car and it's all nicely pre-warmed and ready to go, de-iced and everything else. I know that these cars, mine has a heated windscreen. There's also an electrical auxiliary heater inside the blower unit in the car. Doesn't seem to work though on mine. I'll investigate that another time. But these, whilst I could manage without this, and I have done for 7 years, I couldn't resist buying this. It just looks like a really interesting project. So this is part one of a series of videos. I'm not going to show the whole thing yet because I've only just got this and I know nothing about it. What I do know is that's a water pump. You've got an exhaust here. That, I'm guessing, is some sort of air intake. Inside there is the kind of combustion chamber. And there are also lots of sort of sockets there for wires. Okay, so a little bit of reading on the web has told me that you can't just turn these on. You can't just wire 12 volts and just switch them on. You have to actually send it data. I don't think that's supposed to come off. So there's 2 big connectors here which I think are for 12 volts, and then there's some pins there and some more pins there. I think there's some sort of output for running the blower motor so that when it gets warm it actually blows hot air around the car. This, I think, is a connection for what they call W bus, which is the actual data connection. Now on some Land Rover models, Range Rovers, Discoveries, they probably programmed the ECU to send out this W-bus signal, and it kind of goes into their, I'm guessing W-bus is Webasto's own data interface. You can't just wire a relay on this and just flick a switch and boom, it fires up. You have to actually send it a command to start, and a command to run, and a command to stop. So there are, I have seen on eBay some little sort of circuit boards that you can buy. There's even one that actually has the key fob, so you can press and a little circuit receives the signal from the key fob and sends a command to the heater to start up. Okay, so it's not as simple as I first thought. When I bought this, I thought I just wired it up to 12 volts and away you go. Not as simple as that at all. There's the water pump, probably has a feed. There's the W-bus, there's various inputs and outputs and things like that. There's also this pipe which says fuel, so somehow I need to connect that up to some diesel. I'm guessing just connected into a fuel line somewhere, probably not the high pressure fuel line, probably a sort of feed from the main tank. And could even actually have a very small auxiliary fuel tank. I don't know how much diesel these things get through. So maybe a small tank just to sort of somewhere up the back which can feed it, and then I just top that up from a jerry can. I don't know. Very early days really. One other thing I need to think about is where the heck I'm going to mount this. So some Freelander 2s in colder parts of the world actually do come with one of these fitted, and the factory puts it up here somewhere. Up must be behind this wheel arch liner. I'll just reach in there. That's not a hole there. So it kind of goes up in there, hidden, completely hidden up in behind there. Not totally keen on hiding it up in the wheel arch really. I don't know. It just seems a little bit too hidden away. I mean, one other option would be to put it down here in this space down here. I don't think there's enough room for it over here. Maybe it could go down there somewhere. There's a big void there. I've already filled some of that with my catch tank, but there's a big space there. I could make a bracket and mount it down in there somewhere. Can't really put it here, even though it would fit there, I'm sure. It's going to block access to the fuse box. One other possibility, it is still a little bit hidden away, but it could go behind here. So on the other side, there's a washer bottle, which I think sits. I think it's on the outboard side of the fog light. So it's kind of there on the other side. Behind here, there's a big space. There's nothing there now. The Freelander ones that have them and the Discoveries put it in there. It's still a little bit hidden away for my liking. I'm just terrified of this thing getting too hot and catching fire. I mean, it's a dangerous thing. It's got diesel flowing into it and flames coming out and whatever. I don't know. It is a burner. It actually ignites the diesel and burns it. So I'd rather keep it a bit more visible really. Yeah, I think one option would be down here, and the other advantage of putting it down here is there's a water pipe there, so easy access to the radiator hoses, and the exhaust. I'd probably have to take off that silencer and the exhaust and whatnot and fashion some sort of new exhaust pipe, but that could duct down underneath. As for fuel, who knows? I don't know yet. Maybe some kind of little tiny auxiliary fuel tank. Again, I don't really like having fuel lines right up at the front of the car. If you have a bump, that's going to potentially pour fuel out all over the place. So I'd rather rather try and keep any kind of fuel lines sort of back towards the back of the engine bay, just where they've got a little bit more protection. So yeah, lots to think about there, lots to think about. And what I'll do in the next video is try and get one of these little Webasto controller boards. There is a bit of software you can get on a laptop as well. You can run it up from the laptop, from I think by USB, and actually see all the data and the temperature and see what it's doing. Might see if I can get that. It'd be good to get this powered up, just see if it's even a good one. Might not even work, but yeah, interesting project. Be good to get this working, and then on the cold winter mornings it'll be lovely to press a button and just press a button from inside the house and not even have to go out and worry about starting the car and leaving it with a set of keys in the ignition. Just press a button and it warms itself up. Brilliant. Right, okay, that'll do it for this video, and in part 2 I'll see if I can actually get it running. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye.